Okay, so I made it to the flea market today, and yesterday I went to the thrift store, or went to a couple of them. This is the radio that I was talking about, how the guy wanted like 10 fortunes for it, and last time I was there, he wanted 40. Today I went and I asked him what's the lowest he'd go, and he said 30. And I figured, you know what, I'll just take it, because I think if I found one on eBay, it would be hard, and yeah. And out of all the reproductions, this model's the best. This model, the Philco Baby Grand, I think they came out in like 1972 to celebrate like 80 years. And then the GE Cathedral radios, the reproductions, those are the best ones. And this is pretty accurate. They put megacycles and kilocycles. Normally it would have been hertz, kilohertz, and megahertz. But it's got tone control, voice or music, AM, FM. It's sad, a lot of the new reproductions, they don't even have AM radio, which, like Victrola, their little all-in-one thing, they don't have AM anymore. And honestly, that's kind of like a dead giveaway. But honestly, it's kind of like stupid, because having AM on them makes it more authentic, in my opinion. But I wish AM was booming still. I wish that it was very popular still for music and all that other stuff, but it's really not. We'll get to this in a second. And I went into Greedwill yesterday, and I got some CDs. Now, CDs are probably they're a dead format, and I wonder if they're going to come back like cassettes did. Because I think a few years ago cassettes came back. I don't think they're as popular as records, but oh yeah, and speaking of the people who call them vinyls, vinyl is the material they're made out of. They're called records, for goodness sake. They are called records, not vinyls. Anyway, I got some CDs. These were $1, I think, or $1.18 or something at Goodwill. Two of these I bought at another thrift store. The first one I bought, Kids Bop 1, I know, but I remember these came in a Happy Meal from McDonald's, and I remember having one of these. Yeah, 2009. Yeah, and then the Tractors. I think this is really their only album or whatever. The Tulsa Shuffle, Baby Likes to Rock It, those are like the only. But what is it? I have this on a 45 somewhere, and this stupid little compilation thing that's not even the real artists. Life of the Party. It's got Macarena, The Hustle, YMCA, yeah, and then Glenn Miller, and then some Hank Williams. And then I got this Sony boombox. It's nice. It's a good boombox, and I think my grandfather, he has one very similar to this. It's a newer model. I forget. I used to have the same exact model. I think he still has it. They're really good boom boxes. Sony, these kind of Sonys are, even though they are made in China, they are pretty good. They still do have a boom box now that looks somewhat like this. And today I stopped in a little thrift store. It was near the flea market. You couldn't really call it it was basically like a flea market. Not really. There was only, it was a thrift store, but like an older guy runs it, I think, and I think he has some other people help out, but I hope the guy's doing okay. But it's where I got all those K-Tel and Ronco and other 70s compilation records, and I got 3 more today. K-Tel, Super Bad is back. Oh, and this thrift store, it's a very lax, there's no tax, it's awesome. It's a really good thrift store, and there usually isn't that much in terms of electronics, but I mean, if you're looking for CDs and records, it's pretty good. Oh, and like dishware, like, you know, like the collectible dishware stuff, than that. But I think they sell appliances too, but whatever. And then got this one, Music Power 22 Original Hits, Original Stars. I got this, it's called Starburst, and it's 2 records. 2 out of 3 Ain't Bad Meatloaf, and yeah, he passed away recently. That's sad. Baby Hold On, Eddie Money, Can't Stand the Rain, Get Off. Shadow Dancing, Shame, Boogie Nights. A lot of good music. And I got this little boombox at the Greedwill along with that. Paid about $5 for this and $6 for that. I still can't believe I bought my little clock radio that I use by my bed. I bought it for $10 there, and then I saw it at another thrift store for $2. That just... It's a newer Sony clock radio. I like how it has green LED. It has a green LED display. I absolutely hate... I don't hate, but I'm not really a huge fan of the blue LED displays. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like the blue numbers. Like the alarm clocks and clock radios that have blue. The vacuum fluorescent green, like bluish green kind of colors, those are okay, but like the blue LED displays, they hurt my eyes, and they're really hard to see at night. But remember, I had one of these as a kid. I've had many of these over the years, but this one I'm going to keep nice because, yeah, like I said, I had one when I was a kid. It's a cheap POS, but it works. It's a Memorex boombox, made in China, distributed by iMation Incorporated, Meridian, 3200 Meridian Parkway, Weston, Florida, 33331. And it's a model MP8806. I think they made these in other brands. And what's kind of sad is it doesn't say anywhere any way how to service it or to take it to any qualified service personnel. Neither does this boombox. It's sad that electronics are disposable, because talking about polluting the environment, like, I mean, when the electronics, when they take a dump, you just throw them in the dumpster, and then that just creates even more e-waste. And, you know, like, if we had, like, TVs, radios, record players, and stuff that we could actually fix, and you could actually fix it and repair it, and the parts wouldn't be proprietary. You could actually maybe, like, limit the e-waste. I don't know, but they're probably not going to do that because, yeah, people want cheap, and they don't care how long it lasts. They just want the cheapest thing, and they want the latest thing. But we'll move on to this in a second. Picked this up at that thrift store as well, the thrift store where I got these records. It's a little thing, cassette deck thing. It's made in China. Came with cassettes, and it was only $3, so I'm like, I'll take a gamble. It has a lot of, what is it? It has a lot of religious tapes. Walkout 2, or Workout. We'll have to see what's on that. Inya. We'll have to try that, but I was just going to put in my other tapes, and I'll just put these somewhere. Yeah, this is a lot of religious tapes, which that's not bad. And, hey, whatever floats your boat. And these, it came with a couple of blank tapes. We'll need to play Teasley's Chai Chai movement, or music. Who I bought this from, he also had a really beat up Montgomery Ward's Airline AM clock radio from the, say, mid to late 60s. He wanted $30 for it, and I mean, the thing's filthy dirty, it's missing a knob, and honestly, I just want to tell him it's worth about $5 at the most, maybe $10 at the most, but yeah, this guy is completely outrageous with his pricing, but whatever. Okay, let's open this up. Green-eyed lady, ocean lady.
El IRS 3 mobile data.
So when you take resveratrol, you get brain blood flow. This means you get more oxygen to the tissues of the brain. Your brain cells stay healthier longer. Your mind is clear, sharp, and focused. So that would just plain take two.
Comparable market analysis. An open phone line.
The Canadian truckers and their Freedom Convoy continue their efforts to get Prime Minister Trudeau to ease off the draconian that prevents truckers from crossing the border unless they're fully vaccinated. Trudeau, at least for today, is simply digging in his heels.
It has to stop. The people of Ottawa don't deserve to be harassed in their own neighborhoods.
Well, listen here, you turdo. Lift the crap, and I'm not going to get too far into this because I've heard YouTube's been censoring people who speak out against them. That sounds like some Orwell 1984 stuff right there. But yeah, hey truckers, you got my support. Y'all put food on the table. Y'all bring us stuff. You guys are very necessary. I appreciate every one of y'all. Keep doing what you're doing and keep fighting for freedom. Thank you.
Protests. These protests are not the way to get through it.
It's a fascinating thing, something that Jennifer Van Laar, our last guest, pointed out right at the end of our last segment. These Canadian truckers have served to galvanize and mobilize people on this side.
They're peaceful. They're not burning buildings or throwing. They're not throwing things. They're not burning buildings. They're not looting. They're peacefully protesting. There's a difference. Like rioting, that's like what Antifa and all them others did last 2 summers ago. Rioting is destroying property, hurting others, setting things on fire, destroying things, stealing things. That's rioting. Peaceful protesting is like picketing. It's peaceful. You stand up for what's right, and yeah.
Trudeau asking them to. And you can't go wrong 'cause you're proving all
ready for anything.
Okay. Let's try this. Well, it has a tape in here. It has a recording function too.
Come on and sing my song.
Growing taller. Good. And now we're going to get down on the floor, slowly sit down and lie down on your back.
This is some 80s workout tape, probably. Here, we'll try one of the tapes I have. Hold on.
I don't know if you call that a brick, but watch the games under 41 TVs with surround sound that can play and commercial. Opinion Sports Bar and Grill on the truck bypass in Brooksville and the Killingsworth Plaza.
Forget the Love Shack. Your Valentine's Day experience starts at the cracked out.
Let's try this, see how good it sounds. Now let's try Teasley's Tai Chi music. Here's some Enya. Here's a tape somebody wrote in cursive. 12 stages of healthy, or healing. Yeah, it's healing. Yeah, healing. Dr. Donald M. Epstein, I don't know. Network chiropractor. It says 12 stages of healing. It's sad they don't teach cursive anymore, and you're going to need cursive if you're signing any official documents. And I'm not like, I can read cursive, but I'm not like, I can't really write that good in it, but I can read a good bit of it. But yeah. And then that Enya tape, and then some guided meditation tapes. Okay, so here's the Sony boombox. I'll go ahead and put in. Well, we'll try this Kids Bop CD, see what happens. This brings back memories. Let's see this. Play.
Somebody once told me the world.
That sounds awful. Let's try out the recording function. Okay, so here's a Sony model CFD S01. I picked this up at Goodwill. I made a video on it, or I made a video on it as well as the other stuff I picked up today at the flea market and stuff. But I'm gonna put that video together after this one. I'm gonna put this video together after I put that one together. Anyway, it works. Not very good. I mean, it does work, but I'll go ahead and plug it in and show you what it does. This is what it does. It powers up. Powers up. Radio works. I got this CD. Let's put this in here. See what this does. It's making an annoying sound that sounds weird, but it's going to recognize it. Yes, it is. Play. Okay, let's try recording. This is what the recording sounds like.
There's something happening here. There's bad minds being young people speak.
Thermometer. Learn more at Extragen.com.
Greatest Hits Radio. Hits 106. Today on Hey Culligan, how smart is your water? Here's Tracy.
Okay, so you remove a bunch of little screws, but you need a little tiny Phillips head, or you need a small Phillips head jeweler's screwdriver, or in this case a little flathead jeweler's screwdriver will work good. Maybe a pair of tweezers might help, or you don't want the kind, well, I mean, I guess these are the kind to, like, you know, like pull splinters out and all other kinds of stuff, like, you know, like pull splinters out of your feet or whatever, or like pluck hairs, I guess. I don't frickin' know. I do not know, but whatever. Anyway, a pair of you need a I sound like Joe Biden right now. No. Get you some long tweezers like this that are metal, and do not get the kind that got like the small metal kind that have like little not knives, but they're like sharp at the end. Get some that are like this. They're kind of like blunt at the end. But just get one of these. You know, get a pair of these, and then you can pull the little screws out from right here. Removed a million screws. You might be able to get it out if you're lucky. Okay, so what you do to get this apart is well, first let me remove this little thing right here so it doesn't mess up. First thing you do is you remove 3 screws, one right here, one right here, one right here on the bottom, and then these 2 up here, and then 2 on these little plastic pieces right here. There's 2 screws. So these are where the screw holes are. So this is the back. So screw hole there, right there, right there, and right here, and then one right here, and right here, and then it should come out. And then you have a little wire here. I think this is to power the radio itself. It hooks up right here, and that's what you got to remove, and then you should be able to get into it fine. It's the belt that's messed up.
Bankers or policemen. They cause problems with people who want to become licensed as beauticians, realtors, or insurance agents. Young adults may graduate from college with both a diploma and a criminal record, and then get turned down for a job because they can't be bonded. Even worse is the situation where a person has a job and then the company decides to bond all of its employees. Your criminal record will become common knowledge at the job, and chances are you'll be turned down for the bonding.
What's bonding?
Good question. It's a kind of insurance for employees and employers to protect against any wrongdoing or mistakes an employee might make. But no insurance company wants to bond someone who already has a record.
Okay, so here is the board out of that. You can see it's full of cheap capacitors, and I wish they would. I hope that these and pretty much any other electronics that they make now, I hope the little surface mount capacitors that these have on them, I hope that they last for many decades. I hope they do, because that would like suck, because like what if it becomes collectible and they don't make them anymore, and then it just craps out. But whatever. And got all these little jumpers here. Very, very unservicer friendly kind of. Got all the ribbon cables and crap to plug in. But let me set this to a side. Okay, so I have the tape deck out of this, the boombox. Here's the bottom, or the back portion of it. This is the suspect at hand. Now, you may be asking, why don't I just replace this whole module? Why don't I order one of these modules? Well, if I was going to go to that trouble, I might as well just throw the whole thing in the garbage, and I could buy a brand new one at Walmart for $70. And I'm not spending any money on this. I'm going to use a rubber band as a belt, and if that doesn't help, then this thing's probably going to go to the dumpster. You can see this is the belt. It's kind of loose and kind of cracked and brittle and not that rubbery anymore, or not that stretchy, but we're going to put this with all the 10 other million screws in this little dish. I'm going to put it over here. I scored up 3 belts. This one, and this one. And if push comes to shove, we can use the one out of this little Radio Shack carry cassette thing, because obviously this thing, this boombox, is more worthy than this little thing. Well, I don't know about that, but they're all both cheap garbage. But I am going to hold on to this little Walkman, this little Radio Shack thing, because it was, remember I had one, I bought it at a flea market. I've done several videos, I've done a couple of videos on this trying to fix it. Okay, so it's coming along. Got all this plugged back in. This was a Charlie Foxtrot, a huge Charlie Foxtrot, and yeah. Okay, so I had this one little wire, one more wire to hook up. That down there. This wire right here. This little wire right here, where this little white thing is, where my screwdriver is, right here. And that goes to the CD tray thing to tell it there's a disc in there, or to tell it that the door is closed. And I'm not about to take this thing back apart, so we're gonna put it back in its, so we can power it up. Okay, let's try it. I tried it before, but
no space on your table or countertop. It also...
Okay, let's try AM. And to change the band, you hit radio again. Here's my station. Okay, let's see if WSM will come in. I have it on the preset.
Conservation aid, easy for me to say. So, she has recorded with Julio Iglesias, John Oates, Vince Gill. She's been to the Oscars
it's coming in.
And she is back tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Wendy Moulton.
So let's try the cassette. try the tape.
For a relatively small reward, and the person involved never knows what the odds are of being caught.
Thanks.
If you're wondering what tape this is, it's a from Shoplifters Anonymous. Is it worth the risk? I figured I'll keep it as a test tape, so I can just use that, and I don't have to worry about getting. Hopefully, it's not copyrighted. Let's rewind this tape, and we'll record on WSM. Okay, let's try this. Okay. So I am going to have to go back in there and put this little thing back in here, because this is open, so even if I close this, it thinks the thing's open. So yeah, I gotta open this back up, but at least I don't have to take the back off again. I didn't put the back on. All I had to do was attach this little thing right here. Okay, let's try this CD. Okay, let's try this. Put a CD in here. Hit play. Record.